Stand by for audio.
K and Kev starts now.
Season 2, Episode 6. It is Christina K and Kevin Koveas. Hi, Kev.
What's going on, Christina? How you doing?
I'm good. You know, the day we're filming this is Mother's Day. So I want to start off
It is
a
Mother's
huge
Day.
shout out to all the amazing moms out there. We talk about a lot of like Marvel and superhero stuff on the show, but really the true superheroes are moms and dads. So moms, thank you so much for all that you do.
The real superheroes. Happy Mother's Day to mom, to all, to my mom, to your mom, to all the moms, all the mamas, babies, mamas, to quote Outcast. Yeah, we're giving all you a shout out and happy Mother's Day. Yeah. What is one thing? We'll keep on this mother train for a minute. What's like one thing that you and your mom do that's like special to you guys and like nobody else quite understands, or just like your favorite thing to do, I guess?
Oh my God. Well, I feel like just our life in general, I feel like there's sometimes a language that only my mom and I speak, and usually it's in the form of song.
Do you guys not use actual words? You guys
do.
You communicate through song at times.
We do, but everything like always goes back to a song. And I feel like that is a thing that I definitely got from my mother. We go to a lot of concerts together. I mean, obviously we love going to Disney and shopping together. Just anything I do with my mom. But I think.
What's the last concert you went to with your mom before the craziness?
It was actually the very last concert I went to, period. And that was the second night that I saw Celine Dion. I got tickets from work, and my mom was like, I want to see her because you were raving about it the first time. And yeah, we had an amazing time, and our seats were like, which was great because the last concert before that, our seats were in like God's country because I got her tickets to see Phil Collins, and they were just like so expensive. So they were like very high up at Madison Square Garden, I think it was.
Okay.
So it was nice to be a little closer for Celine Dion.
No, hold on. Did you get the hookup at all for this, Celine? Like, did you?
Yes.
You got the hookup. It's nice to be connected. It's nice to work.
It is nice
in the industry, and occasionally it has its perks. Now, how close were you to Celine?
On the floor, but like on the floor, but like so it was on the floor, but like a little higher up towards the side. So it was better than when you sit on the floor, because when you sit on the floor, there's no like anybody who's in front of you is like blocking your view. But if you're a little like on those stands, then you get like a better view. So we were there. Yeah,
if you're on the floor and you have like a tall dude in front of you or something, you're screwed versus like being where you were and you have that advantage of like a good sight. That's incredible. Oh my goodness.
It was like the best way to end concerts for a while. But I gotta say, Kevin, all of a sudden it's like my head's in overdrive with all the concert announcements that have been coming out. Have you, like, I don't know if it's happening to you guys in California, because you guys, I feel like, are a couple months behind us in life right now.
We are behind. Not only are we behind like timeline wise, but like I was talking to my buddy in New York and he's like, oh yeah, I went into a bar and they're just seating people. You can sit at the bar now. And I was like, what? I was like, that's unheard of right now. If I go to a spot close by to me, that's not happening. You like get your food.
Still outdoor dining?
Yeah. I know for like a couple of my favorite spots, you go in, you get your food at the counter, and then you take it outside and you eat it outside or whatnot. Or similar for like drinks, and you can have it, past a certain point. Obviously, you can't go with alcohol, but it's like, that's so it's a completely different ballgame here. I feel like we're not as evolved as you guys. You guys are moving a little bit faster.
Well, you know what? I feel like in the beginning,
you're at a different place.
We shut down a little faster in the beginning. So I think like now we're opening up a little bit faster, but they're saying the city is going to be open, like fully open by July. I still don't know if that's going to be the case, but their restaurants are opening up like inside. I think it's like May 19th. I want to say it is. It's like 100% occupancy for malls and restaurants and bars and stuff. So it's like Thanos snapped his finger and nothing ever happened. But we're getting concerts now too, which like has been the greatest thing to announce and give away concert tickets again. I haven't done that in a very long time.
Can I ask you, who are some of the heavy hitters who are making these concert announcements right out of the gate now that the world is sort of returning to some semblance of normalcy? Who are the big ones?
We've got literally every kind of genre, from Zach Brown Band to Kings of Leon, Mark Anthony, Andrea Bocelli, Genesis. I'm like, speaking of Phil Collins, Genesis is coming. I'm freaking out a little bit.
You do love your Phil Collins, as do I. Who does not love the great Phil Collins? That's an eclectic bunch right there. I love Zach Brown. I love Kings of Leon. Kings of Leon were performing at the NFL draft. I feel like we're finally getting back. This is really exciting. Now, when are
Great.
these concerts? Are these summer? Are these fall? Are these just like early announcements for the fall? Like, how does that work?
I want to say the earliest concert that was not canceled, because a bunch were pushed back. Like the Backstreet Boys canceled. They were supposed to be here in July. They'll be here next July. I think the earliest show that I know that's definitely happening is in August. I think August, September are like the Jones Beach kind of shows. And then I feel like September, October, November, December are like Madison Square Garden, Barclays, stuff like that.
That's crazy. What's I have so many questions. I'm like writing,
Right?
I'm writing for the school paper over here. What's like the capacity? I mean, do they have to, is it like one person sits and then another?
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably yet to be determined, right?
I
But
think
they can only sell so many tickets, right? You can't sell out the place the way you normally can, right? I don't know.
I think every show and like artist is different. I think that depending on the venue, depending on the artist, I think they kind of set their own guidelines. I could be wrong on that. It's really hard to find like exact information. Like I want to know, do you have to wear your mask for this stuff? Because certain artists, you sit there and you sing along with them. I can't imagine having my mask on. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing or not, but I do know one of the big announcements, because I'm telling you, it was like announcements dropping all over the place this week. It was exciting.
Yeah.
Broadway is reopening in September at 100% occupancy. My mind is kind of blown that when they come back, it's going to be a full theater.
Now that's kind of crazy to me. I mean, it's exciting,
right?
But also it's like, wow, you don't want to slowly reopen this. I think it's amazing. I'm just happy to hear they're open, and having friends who've done Broadway. I know the same for you. It's like, and just having such an appreciation for Broadway and what they do. That's like the most difficult type of performing. It requires the most skill. You'll never convince me otherwise. These like A-list actors and actresses that we worship, they're great, whatnot. But, they get take after take after take versus these people on Broadway who are doing the dirty work. They're doing like the actual like toughest work. I think it's amazing, the reopening. It's a little daunting to me, the whole like kind of 0 to 100 thing versus like slowly, why not like halfway? The same way you're seeing it with, I know being such a huge sports buff, the same way you're seeing it with ball games and things like that. Where, you start at 10% capacity, then you're up at the 30, then 50, so on and so forth. That's interesting to me because people are going to go regardless, People are going to go see these shows. So 100% come September, you're telling me?
Yeah, not every show is opening on the opening day of September 14th. Some are opening a little later in October because they still got... It's been a while since, even if you're taking back your cast that you had when it closed, it's been a minute since they've performed this stuff. So they need to get back into rehearsals. They have to get all these new guidelines and safety, protocols in place. So some of them is going to be October. I'm sure some will be even later than that. I don't know the official full list of everything that's like opening on September 14th. I got just as many questions as you do, honestly, because I'm anxious to go, but at the same time, I'm like, how much are these tickets going to be? Because they haven't performed in a while. So are they going to up the price? I don't know that, everyone kind of got affected by the pandemic. So are we going to be spending $400 to see Hamilton again,
Sure.
But then again, it might be easier to get Hamilton tickets now because that was impossible. So silver lining, maybe.
Maybe we could finally see Hamilton.
Right.
Well, that's the other thing is that Broadway, as amazing as it is, obviously not the cheapest ticket in town. It's it's an experience like no other. So obviously you're going to be paying a little bit more. But how do you play this now financially? Is this more now? Is it? I mean, obviously it's not going to be less, but do they up the price of that ticket? I'm really curious to find out.
But then it's, is it just going to be New Yorkers for a while? Because are you getting people who are going to be taking trips into Manhattan, those city trips? I don't know what kind of a crowd you're going to see. Are you going to get maybe locals instead of tourists? I don't know. It's weird because I know in California, like when Disneyland reopened last week, it was like California residents only. So do we think, for concerts and Broadway shows and stuff, they're going to do like locals only for that particular area? I don't know.
Christina, you're so much more responsible than me. You know all the rules. You already know that you know the rules of Disney. Wait, so for Disneyland,
because it's Disney.
No, I know that's true. You do. You are like the protocol for Disney. You know everything. But I think you regulate it. I think you set the rules. I think they come to you and they're like, Christina, I really don't know what to do. When do we open? You're like, I'll open at this date and only let California locals in.
I would let New York people go in because I'm jonesing for Disneyland. Are you kidding me?
That's fair. You'd hop on a flight, the first flight out, get to Disneyland. Now, the California local thing, that's only for a certain amount of time, right? Or is that like for the foreseeable future? I'm asking you so many questions.
We don't. That's okay. I always interview people and ask the questions, so sometimes it's nice to be on the other end.
There you go.
I don't know a date yet. You know, it's interesting because Avengers Campus is opening June 4th. I think they should have saved the opening to when they let everybody in, because I don't think it's fair that just California locals go, even though I know on like an average day 90% of the people that are on Disneyland anyway are California locals. But like some of the diehards, like I would have loved to have been there for the grand opening of Avengers Campus. That's something that I'm very passionate about. So it's kind of heartbreaking that I know, and I know for a lot of friends of mine too that are even in states around California that can't even go. So
yeah. And I think Disney's so great about caring about every fan and every person.
Yeah.
But I think in this instance, it's like a purely financial thing where it's like every day they're not open, they're taking a loss. I mean, geez, Disneyland, how long has it been open? And it's never shut down like this, even close to it, right? What's like the most it's shut down for, like a day or two? And even
for
at that,
Disneyland, for Disneyland, probably just a day. Walt Disney World, I've actually been to Walt Disney World during like hurricanes where they've shut down for 2 or 3 days and you're quarantined in your room. But I always thought that was going to be like the end all be all. I never thought it was going to be months to over a year. It was like 412 days Disneyland was closed for.
Sure. And with Southern California, you're not dealing with the elements as much. It's obviously one of the, the appealing parts of being here is from a weather standpoint. So yeah, it's fascinating.
Rub it in.
Well, it's just so nice. I'm bragging about this, and it's like chilly and like kind of like cloudy out today. I don't know what I'm doing.
What is chilly?
Oh, it's like 60 degrees. I'm freezing my A off. No, I'm kidding.
Oh it's like 58 here.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up right quick. It's 63. What happened to me, Christina?
Okay, what time is it there?
I'm the worst. It's 9:52 a.m. as we record this.
Okay.
On Mother's Day, Pacific time. So yes, afternoon for you in New York.
It's 12:52 here, and it's 64 degrees. So that means your day, you will be higher up, and rain's going to start, I feel, soon.
Okay, so I should shut my mouth, is what you're telling me. That was a really nice way of you saying, why don't you shut your mouth, Kevin? Why don't you just stop talking for a second? Come on. Oh my God. Yeah, no, it's going to be, I know we went off on this sort of like crazy.
What we do.
No, it's what we do here on K and Kev. But yeah, I'm just so fascinated about how they choose to reopen these things and full capacity and non.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's crazy is I haven't, just bringing it back to the Broadway talk, I haven't been to a Broadway show in years. I'm dying because it's been shut down. I am dying to go. So like I can't wait to get back in the fall. And here's something we have to do. We have to have a K and Kev adventure into the city, and you and I have to go check out a Broadway show.
We've never done that.
We've never been to a show together. What the
We've
heck
never
is
been
wrong
to the
with
city
us?
together, I don't think, right? No, we haven't.
That's crazy to me that we've never been to the city together. Okay, so this fall, Broadway reopens. We pick a show.
Mm-hmm.
We go. Probably Hamilton. No, I'm just kidding. I want to go to Hamilton, but
I would love to see Hamilton.
People are going to be going nuts. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. But yes, we're going to go see a show, and maybe we'll record some stuff and
that would
throw
be
it
so
up for
fun.
the K and Kev fans. Yeah, it'll be great.
Would love that. What was the last show that you saw?
Oh God, the last show.
How long ago?
I have not seen a Broadway show. It's been like years. I saw a chorus line. Like, how long has a chorus line been?
We were in high school when that, I think, went off. No, maybe I saw it when I was in high school. I know that.
No, I went in like my college years with an ex. Yeah, I don't. That might have been the last Broadway one. That's insane to me. Yeah, and then I've seen a couple of different shows out here, Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat and things like that at at the Pantages out here in Los Angeles. But yeah, no, I have not been to Broadway in a minute. It's a crying shame, really. Wow. I gotta get back. I gotta go.
I feel like in Hollywood, Pantages and then the Hollywood Bowl, I feel like you get more like concert Broadway shows. Like I feel like they get like big names to do that kind of stuff.
Yes, it's rarely that Broadway experience of just you just like pick out of a hat on Broadway. There's so many different options versus here you have the one or two at the big venues with the big stars, and you go catch John Stamos and Hairspray or something. You know,
he was in a bunch. Yeah,
he was in a bunch. And don't get me wrong, what's not to love about John Stamos? He's a delight. He's a delight.
Everything's to love.
I don't mean like that. Okay, all right, get your head out of the gutter. Jeez, I meant he's a great performer. But yes, so it's just one of those things where it's like it's nice, but I desperately miss just like going to see the young up and comers. You know, some of those elite young performers that, you know, you might not be household names yet, but that are on the come up, they're on the rise. And that's what you can go see any given night on Broadway. That's why September, geez, how exciting is that going to be for New Yorkers, for all the great people around this country who come to visit New York, who get to go catch a show. I'm very excited for everyone.
Yeah, I'm excited to go see a concert, to see a Broadway show. And you know what? I think, and this is something we've mentioned before, I think I'm just about ready to go see a movie in a theater too, depending on, it's got to be like a movie I can't imagine not seeing on the big screen. And
you would go see a movie in theaters right now?
Depending on the occupancy, I think so. Because something, and
I love it.
Something we talk about just about every week, I feel lately. I can't imagine not seeing the next couple of Marvel movies. I can't imagine not seeing them in the theater. We've been introducing my sister to the movies, and she was watching Endgame the other night. And part of the reason I love that movie so much was the experience I had in the theater. You know, when Cap caught Thor's hammer and the place went nuts, it was such an amazing experience. And even though like maybe the next couple of ones aren't going to be movies that we're like used to with the Marvel universe, I can't really imagine not seeing them in the theater. I've seen most of them in theaters.
No, I think when you have something that momentous and something that, you know, with such a huge backing, it's just not the same watching at home. I think the past year has been so strange for people because there were a couple of releases this past year. I mean, I'm having trouble off the top of my head thinking of them necessarily, but like a couple of movies where I would have loved to have gone to see those on the big screen, and it's just due to circumstance we couldn't do it. So I think this upcoming year, getting back to that and is going to be amazing. And I know Marvel made a huge announcement. I know we kind of teased it. We kind of teased it last week, but we got to dive in a little bit and just very, very quickly. I know we're on a time crunch, but we got to very quickly hit them and then give like quick reactions to each.
Okay, so the first one is the one that was supposed to come out last year and probably got pushed back more than any other movie, and that's Black Widow, July 9th. I feel bad, but I'm like, it's a prequel movie. Why are we starting phase 4 with a prequel? You know, like what are they gonna like? What bomb are they gonna drop?
An amateur move? No. You're just curious. Yes. You know why I'm most fascinated about this movie? I'm gonna be honest. This is not one of the ones I'm like the most interested in, despite loving ScarJo and you know it has what's his name? David Harbour, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, he's fantastic. He's a great actor, and he plays what does he play? Her brother in this or something? He's like big and slovenly or whatever. And
father.
Does he play the father? That makes more sense. I don't know why I came up with brother.
Father. It's quite an interesting lineup of family members she has there.
I can't wait. I want to see it for the family dynamic, honestly. You know, in the trailer, seeing those interactions, I was like, this is going to be really fun. And I feel bad for the movie because I feel like you lose a little momentum when you release the trailer like that. But obviously it's still going to have a huge following because it's Marvel. So that's the first one. We got the Black Widow.
That's the first one. Then the trailer is out for ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That is September 3rd. Aquafina is in it, which kind of blew my mind a little bit.
She's hot right now. She's popular.
She is.
She's a big name.
Which leads me to believe there will be some comedy in it if she's in it.
Absolutely. She's hilarious.
But I know nothing of this character or anything about it. So I always get nervous when they introduce a new character. Look, I was nervous when they introduced Spider-Man and when they introduced Doctor Strange. But now they're characters I can't imagine the universe without. So I'm like, is this guy going to be that too? We'll see.
You're such a diehard. You're like, I don't know you. Who are you? Coming into my
universe. You don't
universe.
even go here.
See, you don't even go to this school. Like for me, I'm more of a casual fan of this universe. Like I obviously love it, but you have a passion for it that I envy. Honestly, you know, I wish I cared about anything as much as you care about these movies.
Care too much.
No, I do love them, but obviously you know considerably more than I do. So when you introduce new characters, there's a little bit of trepidation because you don't know, are they going to fit this world or not? So that's one of them. You know, Awkwafina's so charming. I think it'll be pretty seamless because she's very, very funny.
Yeah.
So it'll be more about like, okay, does the plot work? How's the script for this?
Right.
I don't think it's going to be so much a concern with her as those other elements of it, but we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got quite the cast for the Eternals, November 5th. That's the one with Angelina Jolie. They teased a little bit of it in that trailer that Marvel dropped, which just gave me chills. Did you see that video?
I did see it. Yeah. It was crazy.
That was fantastic. So there's a little glimpse of that. I, again, don't know anything about these Eternals.
Brand new world. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got a world we're familiar with, Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th. Looking forward to that. You know, we just rewatched Spider-Man Far From Home. And I forgot that they Jake Gyllenhaal's character there, Mysterio, was like Peter Parker Spider-Man, and I was like, oh, that's right, he dropped that bomb.
He dropped a huge bomb in the second one. Those movies are great. Tom Holland, he fits that character seamlessly. I love perfectly. Him. He's definitely my favorite of all the we've talked about this on previous ones, but I think he fits the character better than previous. I think better than Andrew, or I know Andrew Garfield probably the least popular of the three in terms of, because he didn't play the character all that long, and obviously people have a love for Tobey Maguire, and I think Tobey did a fine job, but I just think this is a more fully formed universe now. When Tobey did it, he did an admirable job, but it was the very beginning of this superhero world within cinema. So I think Tom Holland's fantastic.
I do too. I just love everything I've seen in him, and I'm really excited to see Spider-Man. So that's 4 movies this year, and then next year we get 4 more, starting with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which my sister is just like so excited for. And
she's a big fan. Big fan of that Doctor Strange.
Loved Doctor Strange. Her favorite was Endgame, I believe, and then her second favorite was Doctor Strange. She loved it. He's not my personal favorite, but I gained more respect for him after Infinity War, I will say.
Now you're crushing on Captain America pretty obviously, pretty hard. Now is this crushing on Doctor Strange, or is it more of like an admiration? Is it more of like an admiration for? She just loves the movies. She's a big fan of the movies.
She thought visually
that was a weird question. Sorry. I ask weird questions on K and K.
No, she visually thought it was like so cool, and then it was very different than the other ones, which she appreciated.
I think
a lot of the Marvel movies in general are overhyped, which she is the first person I've ever heard say that.
That's a very controversial opinion.
Yeah. But I also think she waited, over 10 years to watch all of these. So I think she kind of knew secretly what was going to happen because, in the age of social media, nothing is sacred anymore. Spoiler alert central. So I think if she had seen them in movies like you and I did, she may have had that more wow element to it. I don't know. Sure. I think watching them like every night back to back takes something away from it too, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's a lot to knock out. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's next March, and then less than a year from today, Thor: Love and Thunder, Taika Waititi. I'm just like, that's probably out of all of these so far the one I'm most excited for.
It's going to be amazing. I mean, and who you got? Christian Bale's going to be in that.
Yes, and what's his face? Oh God. I can't think of his name. He's a huge actor.
Another heavy hitter's in it. Wait,
who? He was in Les Mis. He couldn't really sing. I can't think of his name. He's an older actor. Oh man, I gotta look this up, don't I?
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. That's it.
This movie's gonna make $800 billion. This is gonna be. Yeah. I mean, they all just dominated the box office, but holy cow, this movie is gonna be madness.
Yeah, and then you got Natalie Portman coming back. You have Tessa Thompson back. Korg will be in it. Taika Waititi confirmed his character Korg will be a part of it. So how
many heavy hitter actors and actresses can you have in one movie? They're testing.
Well, Infinity War was the big test of that. It was like 122. But I'm wondering if the Guardians are going to make an appearance in the beginning, because if you remember from Endgame, he left with the Guardians and he was like, Guardians of the Galaxy back together. So.
Well, this is what I'm most anxious about, being such a massive Guardians fan, is the interaction between Thor and the Guardians in upcoming installments. So that's why, clearly saving the best for last, you got Thor, you got the Guardians in there. I'm just so excited. I'm excited for all of them. They're all going to be great. But I think those last few on the list there are so exciting.
Because after Thor, you have Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Perfect title. That's July 8th. That's one I think we're all nervous about. What are they going to do now that Chadwick Boseman's gone? After that, you have the Marvels, which they kind of teased at the end of WandaVision. So that will be interesting, November 11th. And then in 2023, I think we saved two of the best for last. Kevin will definitely agree about the last one. We've got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, February 17th, 2023, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th, 2023. So like 2 years from now.
So I missed a bunch of them in the middle there. There are way more movies. Ant-Man, yes. You know of my love for Ant-Man.
That's one of my favorites.
I think it's fantastic. I can't wait for the third one of that. And gosh, they're just it's just nonstop. It's nonstop. Yeah, and I think during this time we needed something to kind of, to reintroduce us, to get us excited about going to the movies again, or just the prospect of going, and just to kind of ease our sort of tensions and nervousness about the whole thing, about just sort of re-entering society, So I think them dropping these trailers definitely helped put our minds at ease a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. That's what did it for me personally.
And reminded us these next couple of years are going to be pretty damn cool. Going to the movies, checking out these heavy hitters. So yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. That's for sure.
We sure do. Okay, so we got to wrap things up, and we're going to change gears to TV a little bit. And Kevin, I don't know if you saw earlier this week, Rolling Stone put out the 100 best sitcoms of all time. And I, multiple times this week, may or may not have gone on a rant about it.
Were you annoyed about the list?
Yeah, because their top 5 was All in the Family, I Love Lucy, which I think should definitely be in the top. Seinfeld, which kind of blew my mind a little bit. Cheers. And number 1, The Simpsons. They went number 1, 100 best comedies of all time. The Simpsons. It's one of the longest running, but is it the best?
That. It's top 5. It's top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kathy, one of our listeners, hi Kathy.
Hi Kathy.
She sent an email and said, "Hi Kay and Kev, I heard you talk this week about TV sitcoms." She was being nice. I ranted about it. She said, "My personal top 5 is MASH, The Office, Frasier, Golden Girls, and I Love Lucy. And I'm curious what yours are, and what do you think the best TV theme song of all time is?" Good question.
Oh my God, this is a fantastic, loaded, amazing question.
Is it easier to start with our top 5 or the theme song? I personally think theme song. I thought of that one.
Yeah, go with theme song. I'm making this up on the fly. You go first. I'm nervous.
It's not my personal top 5's comedy, but I think sitcom wise, it's so iconic. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
You stole mine. It's a fantastic theme song. It's really, really good.
That's how good it is. We have the same one.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised. You know what?
You can't help but sing it.
I'm going to give you a different one. And it's not my favorite. Okay. Just having such an appreciation for music. This one is, those late 80s, early 90s sitcoms with the really just corny, but really sweet, wholesome theme songs. Do you remember the theme song to Perfect Strangers? It's a little before our time. Oh my God. It's great.
I don't.
You know what? I'm gonna give you 2 from the 80s, and neither of them are on my top 5 sitcom list.
Okay.
Perfect Strangers and Growing Pains.
Growing Pains. I remember that one.
Growing Pains. I love that song. It's so cheesy.
They're all so cheesy.
With another minute on your crying. I keep going. It's an amazing song.
When you think about it,
yes.
WandaVision, when they started their theme songs for every episode, they copied that one. That's how good that one is.
It was amazing. So I'm going to go, you gave Fresh Prince, which obviously would have been my answer as well. I'm going to give you 3. I'm going to give you Fresh Prince. I'm going to go Perfect Strangers, which is it's just a good song. It's just really good.
I don't remember that one. I got to look that up.
You got to watch it. I don't know if you'll agree with me. And then Growing Pains. So I'm giving you 3. Boom, done.
Okay.
As far as the list, we got to go 5 now?
See, this is so, I could come up with like 8 or 9 so easily, and then I was like, I gotta narrow it down to 5.
This is brutal, knocking this down to 5.
I think we can agree on a good chunk of them, actually.
I think so too.
I'm personally not going to put The Simpsons in my top 5.
I would put.
I
mean, I wouldn't have thought animated right out of the gate, but if we're putting animated in, I would put. I put Simpsons.
Wow.
I'll say Simpsons. I'm not going to rank them in order. I'm just going to give you five favorite ones. Simpsons for me. Simpsons. Boy Meets World is like the
Boy Meets
ultimate.
World's on my. Yep, that's on my list. Oh, I think we can both agree on The Office.
Simpsons, Boy Meets World, The Office, Friends, and they have to be in the 4. And I'm trying to. I think for me, 5 has to be Fresh Prince. It's so good. Okay. It's for me.
It's a great one.
Just in terms of like shows that I could watch, any of those 5 shows I could watch on repeat over and over and over and never get tired of them.
Top 5. That's a top 5.
Absolutely. Those are my 5 where it's like I could keep watching them. And how about you? Your 5.
While I appreciate.
Do we agree on
Simpsons,
a few of them?
We agree on The Office, Friends, and Boy Meets World for sure.
Woo!
But
yes.
I think the 2 different ones for me are The Nanny, because I could watch that one
Never got into The Nanny.
Oh, I only got into The Nanny. I was home from school for a while, and it was like on reruns, and it just
people love The Nanny.
People love it. That show.
People
when my sister finds out that you never got into it, she's gonna come for you, because that's like her ultimate.
She's very upset. She'll be very upset.
She loves it. But I also think a show that got me through really tough times, especially this past year, but I love since the beginning, is New Girl. I think I have to put
New Girl's a great show.
I love
you know
that
what?
one.
New Girl was a terrific show. I think New Girl, for as popular as it was, might have been a little underrated, if that makes sense.
Totally underrated.
Like it was a terrific show, just like perfectly cast. You know, like
amazing.
As much as I love Damon Wayans Jr., him working on the other show. And happy endings.
Yes, I was like, I have this on DVD. Happy endings.
Yeah, being contractually obligated to the show where he couldn't work on New Girl, and then bringing in Winston. And
Winston is one of the greatest characters in TV.
And this is a crime that I'm blanking. What's the name of the actor? He's phenomenal, and I'm blanking on his name right now. Holy cow! He is one of the most underrated actors in the game. He just slays everything he does. He's so funny and so like animated. He's great. New Girl's a terrific show. It's not my 5, but it's a hell of a show.
5. You know what?
I like it.
I probably would have done, if this was like a year ago, I probably would have either put like Big Bang Theory or Modern Family, maybe even Schitt's Creek in there. But New Girl really got me through this past year, so I have to put New Girl in my top 5.
5 is so difficult because there are so many great. Hard. There's so many great shows. Like I got love for Big Bang. It's not my top 5, but it's like there's so many great shows. And then Schitt's Creek, a show that I discovered this past year, which is one of the greatest sitcoms I've ever seen. It's phenomenal.
Brilliant. Yeah. It's brilliant, and it's so different. I feel like many of them
feel good.
I feel like a How I Met Your Mother was like totally a copy of Friends. Like they tried to be Friends, and I feel like so many of them kind of have that format. But Schitt's Creek, there was nothing like Schitt's Creek.
Nothing like it. We'll end with this. They're making a How I Met Your Father
with Hilary Duff. Yeah,
with Hilary Duff.
Which I'll be honest, How I Met Your Mother, I enjoyed certain episodes and certain characters, but it just was, I couldn't get past. It was such a Friends spinoff to me. Like I felt like it was a ripoff to me. But How I Met Your Father, I think because they casted Hilary Duff, and I was like, I could probably get on board with this.
Hey, listen, I agree with you about How I Met Your Mother. There were episodes where I was like, this show is phenomenal. And then there were other episodes where I'm like, I'm not feeling this at all.
Like the ending?
Well, yeah, the ending was rough.
It was just one of the worst finales.
That's the thing with like Friends, Boy Meets World, with these other shows. It was always like, I consistently enjoyed it versus like the hot and cold and the good episodes and the really bad. I feel a similar way about Big Bang Theory, actually, with some good episodes and bad ones. But like, it's just fascinating. But Hilary Duff's so likable, so lovable, and such a huge following that I think they might have something there. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I'm afraid they're gonna they have Hilary Duff such a big name, and then I feel like they have to match that. You know, they can't give us, I'm afraid of what they're going to do with the supporting cast, but we will see. We will see. That was Kathy. Thank you for that question, because
Kathy, we loved your question. We spent an hour on it. We clearly loved it.
And happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Thank you guys for listening. And if you have a question for us, because we love answering your questions, we can come up with questions for each other, but it's so interesting to see what you guys are coming up with. So please either comment below if you're watching on YouTube, or Christina@walkradio.com, and we would love to answer it.
Absolutely. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms, to my mom. Love you guys. And thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thank you guys for all that you do. And we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.